Man, this tournament is a blast. Just look at these scenes from the Urawa supporters. Look at Mamelodi Sundowns entering the pitch for warm-up. Look at what that victory over Chelsea means to the Flamengo supporters at a public watch party. This is what I was hoping the Club World Cup would bring. Again, I know there will be new people coming in here saying, well, what about player welfare? FIFA sucks, etc. And yes, we know all of that and agree with that, but looking simply at the football and the cultures that we get to see in this football spotlight, it's incredible, man. This is the one I was looking forward to. Well, besides Monterrey versus River, but Mamelodi Sundowns were one of the teams I was really looking forward to watching in this tournament in general. They showed against Ulsan that they have a great attack, and they showed that early in this match against Borussia Dortmund as well. Lucas Ribeiro was a big problem in the attack, as was Tashreeq Matthews, but Ribeiro was showing just how good he is at riding a challenge and utilizing his breakneck acceleration to blow past defenders. He got a nice goal after just 11 minutes, maybe guilty of being a bit greedy later on. Unfortunately for Sundowns, Ronwin Williams made a huge mistake in trying to play it from the back, straight to Felix Nemetcha, and that made it 1-1. A shame for Mamelodi Sundowns as they were continuing to look dangerous on the counter, and without that mistake, you gotta wonder how things could have gone in this game. But to be honest, the Sundowns defense was beginning to struggle as Dortmund came into the game a little bit more, and a great cross from Brandt was headed past Williams by Girassi for 2-1. And just on the stroke of halftime, Joe Bellingham, in his full debut, volleyed past Williams. Little deflection, but it would have probably gone in either way as Williams guessed the wrong direction anyhow. Second half was absolutely incredible, man, but oh so painful for Mamelodi Sundowns. They dominated the first exchanges. There was even a free kick that kissed the top of the bar from Mokoena. He is so good at free kicks. And after all of that, Dortmund attack, and while trying to block a cross, the ball went straight into Mamelodi Sundowns' own goal. Extremely unlucky. Sundowns would get one back 3 minutes later from Ikram Reyners, what a player he is as well. So that brought them within 2. And Rainer's sub, Mothiba, would make it 4-3 in the 90th, but they just couldn't find another in added time. Now, the painful part for Sundowns is the nature of the goals they conceded. Not to say that Dortmund defended excellently either, but, you know, the Girassi and Bellingham goals, okay, fair enough. But the other 2 goals were, 1, extremely unlucky with the cross deflecting straight into the Sundowns goal, and 2, the incredible gift from Ronwin Williams. Moment of madness or sleepiness from him. So it's unfortunate for them, of course, but they can absolutely hold their heads up high after that. And I hope that all of my hype for them pre-tournament, I hope you guys are seeing why I was so excited to watch them. Watching how they attack is just brilliant, really, really fun. Tempting to say their defense could be a problem, but we'll see how they do against Fluminense. On the Borussia Dortmund side, I was super impressed with Joe Bellingham. It's also insane how much he resembles his brother physically. I wouldn't say so much in the way that they move or whatever, as I haven't seen enough of him to say that, but he had a great full debut, so just imagine him once he's settled. I'm sure Borussia Dortmund supporters can tell me, is he moving like Job? Their names are too similar. Who's who? I don't know. Hell yes, man. After the 7-goal thriller between Sundowns and Dortmund, we were also treated to this one in the same group. Unfortunately for Ulsan, similarly to Urawa, while they looked like they could get Asia's first win, they ultimately fell to a stronger opposition. No upset, unfortunately. But hey, Fluminense were super entertaining in this one, straight from the get-go. And how about that free kick banger? Similar to Messi in that it was on the keeper's side, and the accuracy and power was enough to find the back of the net. This one was a smash from John Arias, man of the match once again for Fluminense in the attack, as he would later pick up an assist as well. Fantastic player. But before we get to that, we saw Ulsan score 2 goals in 8 minutes to close out the first half, and they could have had another one in between those goals. But as expected, Fluminense came storming back in the second half. Ulsan tried to continue their attacks on the counter, and honestly, with how far up Fluminense was pushing, there were a couple of moments where Ulsan were just a quality pass and a clean finish away from making things very difficult for Fluminense. But you always felt like if Fluminense got an equalizer, they're going to go on and win it. And they got that equalizer in the 66th minute when substitute Nonato latched onto the second ball and calmly finished into the corner. The winner, a miss kick from Cano that Freitas was able to turn in, and just to rub salt in the wounds, Keno got one in stoppage time for 4-2 Fluminense. Great match though. Fluminense very much deserving winners, no matter how cool it would have been to see an underdog story, right? Fluminense supporters, it's nothing personal. I'm not rooting against you. I just love an underdog story, you know? And look at how tight this group is. Fluminense and Dortmund both on 4 points, while Sundowns are on 3. Ulsan have been deleted from the competition. Dortmund play Ulsan HD, so the expectation is they are going to get the 3 points in advance. The other game, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Fluminense. Fluminense are through with a draw. Sundowns gotta win to jump over them. What a game that will be. We had a Boca Juniors supporter showing up amongst the River Plate supporters. That caused some issues in the stadium, didn't it? That was maybe the most exciting thing about this game. Well, no, I'm being hyperbolic. Each set of supporters showed up as well, and in the first half, this game was played at a frantic kind of pace. That doesn't mean there was a lot of quality, but it was frantic in the first half. A lot of misplaced passes, that kind of thing. They each seemed a little bit scared to lose. Acuna should have got a second yellow in the 38th minute with a cynical tackle. That would have changed things. Mastantuono was good in this match. Not perfect, not as quiet as against Urawa. He nearly scored in the 67th, but a big save from Andrada in the Monterrey goal. But Mastantuono was good. He did fade in and out of this match, but he was good. In the second half, River really pushed for a winner and maybe should have had one. Sergio Ramos was giving the ball away often, twice in like 2 minutes. And this comes after such an amazing man-of-the-match performance versus Inter, right? Ultimately, River will be the more disappointed of the two sides. Mind you, Monterrey need a win, and we'll get into the standings in a moment. Now, I actually missed this match, which sucks a ton. Saturday afternoon, hits right at productivity time, weekend productivity time, so I missed this one, unfortunately. But I mean, I wish I had missed River Plate versus Monterrey instead, but if only they could have swapped places. Because as I was following this one from my phone, my pulse was just quickening and quickening the closer it got to 90 minutes with Urawa still in the lead. Having seen the highlights, a nice squared ball to Watanabe to put them ahead. Also, the videos of the Red Diamond supporters. Insane support, just as they were during the River Plate match as well. Inter Milan have had a bit of a hangover following the European season. I mean, during the season, they also looked physically spent in the last month and a half or so, 2 months. And this is something that Mkhitaryan even spoke about following this match, that Inter are tired mentally and physically, while also saying that they want to go as far as possible in this tournament. So Kivu said that the late momentum swing could reach beyond the match and that hopefully they will carry on with this form in the coming matches. Of course, that momentum swing was started by who else but Lautaro Martinez with an acrobatic goal in the 78th minute. Very creative. That was Inter's first shot on target in this match, but El Toro did hit the post in the first half as well, so that's definitely worth mentioning. And finally, completing the comeback, a guy who was out with an ACL injury since October, Carboni, rolled it into the corner after the ball landed fortuitously at his feet. Great accurate finish though, picking out that bottom corner. So 2-1 Inter, they are still alive, and Urawa, despite the fight, are eliminated. Urawa play Monterrey next, who could still advance if they win their match, depending on what happens between River and Inter. Excited for that one. Hopefully it's not a bust. River can advance with a win or a score draw of 2-2 or higher. Inter, it's the same story, but don't need a score draw to advance. Juve up against Wydad, and once again, Wydad showed that they can ball out at times, right? Well, maybe that's generous in this particular context, but they played pretty well in that first half against Juve. Now, as we mentioned in the preview, look out for Kenan Yildiz in this tournament. I think I put it as, he has a couple of matches to warm up before facing Manchester City in the third match of this group, and he's warm. He's incredible form. He was an absolute demon against Wydad, so hard to get off the ball, so tricky, in which he flips back and forth, leaving the defenders stumbling all over the place, and in the first 6 minutes, he played a couple of passes and finished past Ben Abid. Really unlucky to not get credited for that goal. It went down officially as an own goal after initially being credited to him, but it's the right call. I couldn't tell if that was a cross or a pass. He later scored a goal that you cannot say can be credited to anyone else. 16th minute, and after passing the ball all around the pitch, Cambiasso went on a great solo run, beat a couple of players, and then dished it off to Yildiz, who put all of his hate into that strike. Absolutely blasted it into the top corner. The cleanest of strikes, unsavable. Wydad did pull one back in that first half. The legend Nordin Amrabat played a perfect through ball to Lorch, and he finished past Di Gregorio to give Wydad hope. But with the form Yildiz is in right now, he made a mockery of the defender with a quick step inside, then rolled it past the keeper for 3-1 Juve. Calm as you like. Not a hat trick, but close. Vlahovic with a penalty converted late to make it 4-1 Juve, a penalty he won and converted. Great win from Juve. They looked pretty damn comfortable against Wydad for the most part, just as they did against Al Ain. So things are looking better under Tudor, but they're yet to be truly tested in this tournament. Good morning. Good morning once again. I would like to start by apologizing to Al Ain people, supporters, the club, whomever, because you know they're watching this video, right? Of course they are. Of course they're going to watch recaps of a match they just played. I didn't watch the second half of this game. So that makes two Al Ain matches that, one I didn't see the second half, and this one I didn't see the second. So I've watched about a match, you know? The thing is, if you're getting smoked by halftime again, 3-0 at halftime, not looking like you're going to do anything in this match, I'm going to take that time to go do something else and then go to bed. Because I know I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to edit this video anyways. So what, I'm going to stay up until 11 or whatever? If it's a good game, I stay up. I've done that for every other match. But this one, nah. We saw some nice things from Manchester City. We saw Raya Cherki get his first goal for the club. We saw Erling Haaland get to 299 goals for club and country in his career already. We saw a lovely chipped goal from İlkay Gündoğan. I don't know if he did that on purpose. My thinking is no. So we saw some nice things from Manchester City. They win 6-0 against Al Ain. So Al Ain are, yes, they are fully out. Fully out. Getting smoked consistently. This group is done as you look at the standings here. Juve are in first at the moment. They have an identical goal difference to Manchester City. Juve and City, both with 2 wins. They play next. Wydad and Al Ain will be playing each other. They're on 0 points. We're on 6-6-0-0, which was... I thought Wydad would get something out of this group, but hey, here we are. The question of this game, I mean, when will Raul Asensio learn when it comes to grabbing his opponents? Granted, I know everyone does that, but the best defenders get away with it. They're much more savvy with it. I'll also give him a little bit of grace in that of the 3 notable grabs that he has been punished for. His hat trick of grabbing opponents and getting in trouble for it. This one against Pachuca that he got sent off for, the softest of them all, that's for sure. But it's the kind of thing where once you grab on, you are forcing the referee... Longtime watchers already know what I'm going to say. They're saying it with me now. You are forcing the referee into making a decision when you grab onto someone. And if he sees that as a foul and you're the last man, then he has to send you off for it. And given those boxes that it checks, VAR likely won't be able to reverse it, as it wasn't a clear and obvious error from the referee. It's not like Asensio didn't grab onto him for a moment, because that would be reversible, but he did. Maybe it's something Asensio will grow out of. That experience will help mend and help him to make better decisions in the moment, but that's 3 now. Marino in the Champions League against Arsenal gave away a penalty. Last match, giving away a penalty against Al Hilal, and then against Pachuca yesterday. Red card. Now he's out until the quarterfinals at the minimum, because that's a straight red card. So that's at least 2 games. Anyway, Mbappe is still out with gastroenteritis, so Garcia started once again. And the first notable chance, a double save from Courtois as Monterrey left Rondon forward at times in order to hit Real on the counter, given Real were really pushing forward. By the way, Rondon was fun to watch in that first half. Let's go, old man. Completely silent in the second, but fun in the first half. Just after the cooling break, however, Jude Bellingham arrived at this Club World Cup. Great passing move forward from Real Madrid down the left flank, and Fran Garcia looked to square to Vinicius in the middle, but Bellingham said no. Me. And stepped in front, then slammed it low past the keeper for 1-0, 1 man down. After a while, you legitimately couldn't tell that Real Madrid was a man down. That's what player quality does for you, right? That's the great equalizer. And it wouldn't be long before they got their second from my boy Arda Güler. Alexander-Arnold with a good ball into Gonzalo Garcia, who laid it off perfectly first time for Güler to hit it low past the keeper. Again, 2-0 going into the half. Güler started ahead of Rodrigo, and I like the look of Real Madrid's attack with Vinicius and Gonzalo playing almost in a front 2. When Garcia came off for Brahim, Vinicius stayed in that central role, as he has done for Real Madrid at times in the past. Not often, but he's done it for Brazil as well. One of the best things, though, was Vinicius trying to pull off a lambretta or rainbow flick failing and slamming into the defender. I mean, it doesn't matter who would have done that. It's not just a Vinicius thing. It's just fantastic comedy at how badly it was a fail here. In the second half, we saw Fede Valverde got on the end of a nice floated Brahim Diaz ball for 3-1. But before that, we saw Thibaut Courtois make a few good saves before he was finally beaten by a deflected strike. Man made over 10 saves in this game. He was working hard. So 3-1 Real the final, despite being a man down since the 10th minute. Pachuca are eliminated. I honestly thought they had a decent chance of getting out of this group. I was very, very wrong. I didn't expect them to lose to Salzburg, that's for sure. Big round of applause for FC or RB Salzburg, whichever you prefer. UEFA prefers FC, as does FIFA, I believe. But yeah, the team that finished 34th in the UEFA Champions League phase, standing up to a Saudi Arabian Pro League, or just Saudi Pro League giant. 0-0 there. Clanging and banging out there. They had their opportunities. Al Hilal looked the more threatening team. That is for sure more of the possession. But once again, FC Salzburg, not too bad. They hold on for a point. And this group is very interesting now because only Pachuca is eliminated, as you can see here. So Al Hilal will need to beat Pachuca in order to progress. And if that occurs, then whoever the loser is of the Salzburg-Madrid clash will be eliminated. If there's a draw in that match and Al Hilal wins, then all three of those teams will be on 5 points. And then they'll go into tiebreakers. Head-to-head in games between them, goal difference in games between them, goal scored in the game between the teams in question, group goal difference, group goals scored, disciplinary points, and then they'll go to a draw if that's the 8th tiebreaker. Okay, let's get a refresher of what the teams from A through D need to advance. So in Group A, Palmeiras can get through with just a draw, win or draw, and they are group winners. They play against Inter Miami, who can also get through with a win or draw. Even if Inter Miami lose, they could still get through. Porto and Al Ahly play each other, and both of them must win. And Porto will hope that Palmeiras lose by a 3-goal swing, while Al Ahly will hope that Inter Miami lose by a 3-goal swing, so they can go through. Botafogo only need a win or a draw to finish as group winners, lose, and they can still qualify depending on a lot of factors, and they play against Atleti. Atleti need to win, but if PSG also win, Atletico would have to beat Botafogo by 3 or more goals to get through. PSG are through if they win, are through with a draw so long as Atletico don't win. And finally, Seattle, they have to get a big win over PSG and hope that Atletico loses. Group C, Bayern can win or draw and they top the group, lose and they finish in second to Benfica, who they play against. Benfica win and they top the group, draw and they finish second. So a pretty clear picture. Benfica could even lose, and so long as Boca draw or lose, they would still go through. But I mean, Boca isn't drawing or losing. They're playing Auckland City FC, and they must get a win, a really big win, and hope that Benfica lose to Bayern. There are a few other factors, but given Benfica and Boca drew 2-2, if Boca beat Auckland by 7 or more goals, they would be through. And finally, Group D, where Flamengo are through as group winners, easy. Chelsea and Esperance are playing for a place in the next round as well. Chelsea just need a draw, and they are through as they have a superior goal difference to Esperance, and Esperance, of course, have to beat Chelsea, and they will jump over them. Okay, guys, that's all. The final round of the group stage matches begins today. Now that we have the roadmap, let's see. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Take care.